Remember, the Constitution is actually a compact between the states. It is a contract saying that they will give up powers to this new government in order to pursue other interests that the states have. You know, every person is different, every state is different. Therefore, the federal government shouldn't be telling everybody, 300 million people, what to do. So this is just the Jeffersonian principle that the government should be bound by the Constitution, and it should be inhibited, because eventually the Congress, just because they are human, will want to have more power, will want to do more. And so the only way in the end, because the Supreme Court won't back up the states, they just won't, because they're part of the federal government. So what they have to do, the states have to just nullify the law and allow the citizens to not obey that law, obey the federal law. For example, when this healthcare law was put into place, there have been multiple lawsuits brought against it by different states, and one court case is being brought forth by an attorney that has the backing of about 25,000 people in the United States. But what if the Supreme Court finds it constitutional? Which it shouldn't. There are multiple reasons why it shouldn't. But what if it does? Is that the end of it? No. Nullification is the answer. The answer is that the states decide whether they obey that law or not. Especially when if something is not explicitly delegated by the Constitution, then the federal government cannot do it. It just cannot do it. But it does anyway, because nobody stops them. But now that they're being stopped by lawsuits and other reasons, you know, this is good. But the question is, what if, you know, the Supreme Court finds it just and constitutional? Well, there's your answer, nullification. So I started reading this, and no, I haven't gotten through it, but it's an amazing book already. It's really well written. It's something I can read. So I'm not a very scholarly person in the first place. You know, all I do is, you know, I guess I have my own values and my own interpretations as well, but and I can't read legalese. So if you're interested, go pick this up. Or actually, you can come and see me, because I tried to pass these things out actually at the 4th of July fireworks in Danvers, and there was just no time, so I wasn't able to do it. So if you're interested, just give me a call. I've got 3 copies I can probably give out. So all right, I was looking up this human rights. It was created by who? United for Human Rights. And so they have like 24 articles or something. How much? Or 30. Excuse me. There are 30 articles that you know, they're just rights. It's the idea behind the Constitution. You have the Bill of Rights. You know, 10 listed out, or probably less than that technically, but they kind of tried to expand on it. But I have a couple problems with it. I mean, in general, the ideas are great, because when you understand that an individual, you know, people are people, you know, you just you got to treat others the way you want to be treated, the golden rule. All right, anyway, let me talk about my problems here. Article 23 in here. Section 1. Everyone has the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work, and to protection against unemployment. Big problem. A, this means you need a state, and I have a problem with that. B, everyone has the right to work and to free choice of employment, but with that, they don't have the right to favorable conditions of work. If you have the right to contract, you know where you're going. You know how the conditions are. But by the same token, you can repeal that contract. You can get out of that contract at any time. So, if there's a business that you have a problem with and you can't work there, then don't work there. Just get out of the contract. You don't have the right to a bad environment, because that property belongs to the employer. And however, I'm not saying that they should be responsible for their, you know, work environment. However, you know what you're going into, and if you don't, well, you can always get out of the contract at any time. That's in a free society. In our kind of society as it is right now, I would say that it's harder to find an environment out of free will, in a way, because at the moment we have high unemployment. So people that need to be employed will just try to find a job quickly. So, but they're still going into that contract out of free will, in a way, because, you know, they need the money. It's a contract, you know. You provide a service and you get paid for it. That's it. That's what it is. So this is my problem with the first part of Article 23. Anyway, but also that encourages the state to get involved, and I won't have that. Article 28, my other problem here. Everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. You can't create order. Out of nature comes order. And when things are centrally planned through a government or a large corporation, for example, though they're profit-driven and all this other stuff, but whatever. The bigger the entity, the less it cares about the little people. So if you have this international order, it just doesn't make any sense. You can't do that. Again, it begs the nationalization idea. This is just totally antithetical to the idea of freedom. And it doesn't sound like it in this sentence, but it is. Governments do not create freedom. People create freedom. People create their own lives. The individual knows what's best for himself. So it's totally backwards. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, so